Hi, I'm Steve Kramer, but some of you know me as Levi's dad. Since you're taking this class, you might be considering a career in software development. So I'd like to share about internships I made available to students last summer. When Mrs. Meilenberg asked if my company had any summer internships available, I decided to start the LightWave project. I got the idea for LightWave at an Angels game watching fans trying to create a wave using their cell phone flashlights. I thought it would be cool to build an app that created a light show in a stadium by synchronizing everyone's phones. If it worked, it could even become a new business venture. Levi is interested in entrepreneurship, and the Lightwave project would give him real-world experience leading a development team and bringing a product to market. His crew included 4 additional ET computer science students. For 6 weeks over the summer, they collaborated over Zoom and worked independently. They broke the project into pieces, then researched the best way to implement them into the final solution. Their teamwork and ideas impressed me, and I must admit I got choked up when I watched their hard work light up and dance across El Toro's stadium.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, my name is Levi Kramer, and I am a senior at El Toro. I was the project manager for the LightWave Internship last summer, and Ms. Meilenberg asked me to create a presentation about our internship experience. The LightWave team also includes Mukundu Medicetti, Eunice Cho, Dylan Werlius, and David June, and we were directed by my dad, Steve Kramer. Unfortunately, Mukund was unable to participate in the presentation, but I Zoomed with the others and asked them about their internship experiences.
Hi, my name is Eunice Cho, and I am a Ultra High School alumni. I graduated there in 2021, and now I am a freshman at UC Santa Cruz with the proposed major of computer science. And back when I was in high school, in Mrs. Meilenberg's classroom, I took AP Comp Sci Principles and AP CSA, and I really enjoyed those classes, and it gave me like an intro to computer science, and I got interested in this like major, so this is why I'm pursuing it now in college. And I'd like to say hi and thank you to Mrs. Meilenberg. I feel like she helped me and she impacted like each and every step of me being where I am now. So thank you, Mrs. Meilenberg.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dylan Werlius, and I'm currently a freshman at Saddleback College studying computer science. And I would like to say thank you to Ms. Meilenberg for not only teaching me how to program, but for sparking my love for computer science.
My name is David, and I'm attending UC San Diego. And I'd like to thank Mrs. Meilenberg for recommending me for this internship.
What were your internship responsibilities?
Okay, my responsibilities was to take meeting notes, and actually the title of my role was called like specification and documentation, I believe. And so it meant that I had to, in my notes, I had to explain like what our plan was and how we were going to execute it. So if we had a certain idea, I would write an explanation explaining how we would like do the idea and how we would try and planning it. So I feel like for example, when we went to the field and when we got like coordinate points, I wrote those down all in the notes. And then every time we had a meeting, I would write down notes on what was happening. And I was like also kind of the data collector. I tried keeping all our data in one place, and that was like my main like responsibility and role. And then like everyone had the responsibility of contributing to the LightWave.
I was in charge of making some of the animated images that would potentially be shown in the light show. So basically what that means is once we brainstorm the ideas of what we should display on all the using the phone flashlights, I had to go into Adobe Animate and then create those animations, which we used in the program to turn on the lights on the phones at certain intervals.
Using the cell phones in the audience so that when the light wave went off, the flashlights on the back of the phones went off at the correct moments for the light show to properly work.
What was the most valuable thing you learned?
The most valuable thing I learned was when I coded the part in the Delphi in the project where it was supposed to show the light as the light wave in the crowd was going, like simultaneously on each and everyone's phones. It would show the representation of the light wave shift. And I've never coded something like that before, and it like introduced me to a bunch of new topics. And I feel like that is really valuable because it helped me like have a deeper understanding of how to code. And also, um, the expression evaluator we did near the end of the project was pretty valuable because it showed like me how to like it showed me that I could make a calculator just by coding, and I never knew like how to do that before.
There's a lot that I learned. Like I had to teach myself Adobe Animate, but I would say the best thing that I learned is how to see a big problem and then break it down into smaller tasks, because it's a big step going from something like writing simple programs like a GPA calculator or something to not only making an app, but making an app like LightWave, which you have to sync up all the phones and do a lot of other stuff that you wouldn't even think to do. And it was really helpful learning how to see, instead of the overall task, see individual tasks and how they contribute to the overall task. So that is probably the most valuable thing I learned.
The fact that software engineering is a whole lot more than just coding. It's more than just developing. It's a lot more about the brainstorming process and the planning process. And then from there, you get into the developing process. And then problems arise, and then you do problem solving. And then you have to start designing again to solve those problems. And then you get into the developing again. But for the most part, you're not working with your text editor, and you're not really running and compiling code for the most part.
What did you enjoy most?
Okay, the most fun thing I did was when we all met up at the stadium and we were all like collecting data together. And then when we were trying to find like the distance between like the coordinates, it sounds boring, but I thought it was really fun. Like we were all on our phones sitting together trying to look for this like formula together. And I thought it was really like cool how we're like physically like meeting up together, even though this is an app like that we could work online.
I enjoyed the most was definitely Adobe Animate, not only because I spent a lot of time working on that, but it's just very fun being able to animate pretty much whatever you want now. And in addition to animating the things that we had to display on the LightWave screen, I also just spent a lot of time messing around and making a bunch of really stupid animations. And that's probably the thing that I enjoyed the most about this.
The thing I enjoyed most was the group dynamic, working as a team to develop this project and being able to solve problems together. Because before this, most of my assignments or projects in school are individual. So it was nice to have a little help and be able to bounce ideas off each other.
Give specific examples of how working as a team helped the outcome.
At the end of our weekly meetings, we would come up with schedules to meet each other. So I remember meeting with Levi, and your Adobe Animate expired, so we worked on an animation together. And then I also remember I also needed some help, and I know Dylan worked on it for a bit, and so we got on a call together and he explained a bunch of stuff with me, and then it helped each and every one of us create our own GIF. And we were all able to contribute to one thing.
So one of the major problems that we had to consider when we were making LightWave is how do we tell the phones where they are in the stadium in relation to one another? And so what we did is we each proposed an idea, and the one that we ended up going with initially didn't work out because we found out that latitude and longitude coordinates are a bit inaccurate if you're only 1 foot away from one another. So instead of having no idea what we should do now, we were able to just go back to some of the ideas that we had come up with as a group. And we ended up going with my idea, actually, of putting seat numbers on the stadium.
It was just me, Mukund, and Dylan. We were trying to figure out how to use the GPS to determine if a user was within the arena. And then your dad kind of had us set out to complete that task with some given constraints, but Dylan actually was able to find a way to make the process a lot more simpler.
What are your future plans, and how did the internship influence them?
I am at UC Santa Cruz with the proposed major of computer science, and in the future, I want to use my degree and to get a job in computer with something with computer science, because I like coding, and I feel like the internship really helped me. It gave me an idea of what it would be like, and it also further made me wanted it further encouraged me to pursue computer science.
My current future plans are finish up a lot of my GEs at Saddleback College right now, and then go and study computer science at UCI. And the internship with LightWave definitely helped cement the fact that I'm studying computer science, because I was nervous coming out of high school and wanting to go into computer science, just because I knew there's a lot of people who want to do that. And how do I know if this is really for me? Doing the internship with LightWave definitely helped me cement my decision of what I wanted to study, just because being a part of that team and doing all the work and figuring out the problems, I just loved it all. So it helped me decide what I wanted to do.
My future plans are just to continue with the college coursework, try to get as much different coursework possible, because there's a lot of breadth available to me here. Not necessarily depth of courses, but there's a large variety that I should be able to take advantage of. For example, there's cognitive science courses, data science courses, mechanical engineering courses that don't fall under the computer science department, but are somehow useful for me. So I think my future plans are to pursue those more, and then also look for different internships for the summer, and maybe also look into research opportunities. And that is research opportunities with professors at this school. But I'm not really too sure about all that at the moment. Uh, yeah, as of now, I'm just focused on trying to find an internship for next summer because the recruitment process it started last summer actually, like in August, and it's still going on.
What advice would you give El Toro computer science students?
I feel like when your code gets hard and when you think it's like all over, like just keep trying, take a break, and go back. It might seem like hard in the beginning, but once you get like the end result and the end product, it's like really satisfying, and like the problem solving is like enjoyable over time. So just keep trying.
Definitely learn how to document your code well. So what I mean by that is do not write sloppy code. Make all your code neat, make it organized. Use comments to write what things do. Use comments to explain big logic statements. And in addition to that, you should definitely learn how to break down big problems into smaller tasks. That's some of the most helpful advice that I've learned.
You don't have to be the best programmer to find work in this type of industry. It's not really about the complexity of your code or how well you can write, or I guess it is how well you can write. It's about the clarity of the code and how simple you can make it to solve the problem. So I'd say if you don't think that you're good at writing code, don't worry about it. That's a very small percentage of type of work that's in the software engineering industry.
How did you feel when you saw the LightWave?
I saw the light wave, I was so happy and amazed, and like I was like, whoa. I thought it was really, really like cool to see all the gifs, and it aligned with the music, and it made me remember back when we were making the code. It was like we were planning to do multiple people per pixel, so even if people were missing, it would still show up. And it all came together in the end, and it made me really happy.
It was very, very relieving when I saw the light wave. And I was actually in the stadium when it happened. So I was also holding up my phone. So I actually didn't see the whole thing. I didn't see the finished product until afterwards when I saw a recording of it. And all I could feel when I was in the stadium and I was watching the phones flash around me was, thank God at least the phones are turning on. That's enough of a win for me. As far as the audience know, all we do is turn a random phone on, a flashlight, turn a random phone flashlight on. But what I know is that it's supposed to be an image. And when I saw the image afterwards in the video, it was an amazing feeling just knowing that all the work you spend doing something actually pays off. And it's great when something works that you spend a lot of time on.
Yeah, I was relieved that it worked, but I kind of knew it was going to work.
The team finished the prototype in late July, and that's when I leaped into action. I worked with the developers at PledgeStar to clean up the user interface, test and bulletproof the app on different types of devices, and get the app into the Apple and Google App Stores. We also created a website to host LightWave download buttons for both stores. I worked with El Toro's administrative staff to coordinate scheduling, planning, and promotion, and ensure we had access to the stadium's sound system. I sent out press releases, spoke with the media, and organized volunteers to place and remove bleacher seat number labels. I even created a promotional video to get students and parents excited to use LightWave. The most valuable thing I took from this experience is that there are a million things to do, so I had to learn to juggle them all without dropping any. I loved working with the team because they are dedicated, knowledgeable, hardworking, and entertaining. I plan to attend college in the fall, majoring in entrepreneurship while I work to get professional sporting events and concerts to use LightWave.